I give up my whole Sunday to help a buddy paint his boat. And he gives me a light beer. You ever taste light beer?
Try a Coors Light.
It's a surprising taste of Coors Light.
Not bad.
Comes from pure Rocky Mountain spring water and high country barley.
It's good. It's really good.
And a way of brewing that squeezes a lot of the calories out but leaves all the taste in.
Well, I'm surprised.
Coors Light. The surprise is how good it tastes.
Tomorrow on ABC's Sunday Afternoon Baseball, live, Pennant Fever strikes the American League. Billy Martin's Oakland A's take on Earl Weaver's high-flying Orioles. And the Angels are out to spoil the Yankees' hopes for the pennant as the fight in the American East continues. Check local listings for the game in your area. Then, Monday, live, the Dallas Cowboys tackle the Washington Redskins on the hard-hitting opener of ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. The great American tradition is back. Live, Monday on ABC.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
It has been a year of magic and miracles, and ABC Sports is proud to have brought you all those unforgettable moments. The impossible dream come true. The unbeatable Eric Heiden. The fight of the year, some say of the decade. The sensational filly surprising all, winning horse racing's greatest event, and the historic triumph of a man returning to the glory that was his. All part of the magic that is ABC Sports, the leader in sports television.
We're back at Darlington Raceway where there is racing again in the Southern 500. Jim Lampley along with Sam Posey and Chris Economaki. You are looking at the leader, car number 88, Darrell Waltrip, the green and white car, who has resumed the lead. And right now Waltrip is trying to get ready to lap Richard Petty, who is at the tail end of the lead lap. Petty, the king of the sport, who was competitive earlier in the day, but now is dropping back, and perhaps that neck injury is bothering him. The man in second place, quite a story. The red car, car number 1, David Pearson. You remember us telling you that early in the race he was 2 laps down. And there is car number 11, Cale Yarborough, who after missing 82 laps following that fire that you saw, is also back out on the track and racing. But Pearson has fought his way back up through the pack and now is on the lead lap in second place, as you can see, just a few car lengths behind the leader, Darrell Waltrip. What a performance by Pearson, Sam.
Yep, this is the moment David's been waiting for the whole race, Jim, and of course it's the moment that Darrell Waltrip has feared, because he's known, because of the radios these guys have in their cars, that Pearson has been unlapping himself. Now it's a straight fight to the finish.
Another yellow flag, apparently some debris on the track. They're going to clean the track off. Meanwhile, Richard Petty has pulled into the pits, and you can see there that Petty is getting out of his car. Joe Milliken, a second-year driver, will get into the car to drive relief for Richard Petty. But as Petty gets out of the car, let's go to Chris Economaki.
He looks quite exhausted. He had a terrible accident at Pocono, suffered strained neck muscles, and you can see the neck brace that he's wearing. Helping him off with his helmet here. And there comes the neck brace off. And the harness that holds the helmet to the side of the car to relieve the strain on his neck is being unattached now. Cold rags being 7 times a champion, and you can see the stress and the strain that this man has undergone on this brutally hot day here at Darlington, South Carolina. And you can see the pain he's experiencing as the sore ribs from the Pocono crash, the bandages come off of that. Not a word has he said since he stepped out of that car. And there you see the champion 7 times, what he undergoes at the wheel of his racing stock car. Oxygen now for Richard Petty. This man has given so much to this sport, cold compresses on his wrists and on his head. And Richard Petty right now looks like a very, very old man.
He had been running ninth, higher than that earlier, and then he fell back. As any racing driver who's been in this position can tell you, you're just gasping for air now, hardly aware of what's going on around you. This hasn't happened to Richard very often in his long career, but curiously enough, it happened to him last year at Darlington.
What would it cost to replace your car's muffler, including installation?
Oh, I'd say about $50.
No, wait, $45.
It'll be around $30.
I guess about $40.
The aluminized Sears muzzler is only $19.99.
That's half of what I guessed. It's hard to believe. On a Cadillac?
Is that really true?
$19.99.
That's a terrific price, with installation included.
Yes. That's something.
Should have known it. Sears.
The muzzler, only $19.99 installed. Only at Sears.
You can feel us coming now, a fresh look on the scene, with a whole new style of living, light and crisp and clean.
That's why now we say the age of 7 Up is here.
7 Up.
America is turning 7 Up. Reaching up, feeling up.
Mike Schmidt's turning 7 Up.
America is turning 7 Up.
We're drawing toward a climax at Darlington, and the leader is still Darrell Waltrip in car number 88. In fact, since David Pearson has moved up to challenge Waltrip, Waltrip has opened up the throttle and shown more horsepower than he's shown us all day. He has extended the lead over Pearson. There you can see it on the screen, a wide margin between Waltrip in first place and Pearson in second. Uh-oh, there's Buddy Baker in car number 28. You see the smoke coming out from under Baker's car, and Baker, who has run among the leaders all day, may be done for.
Interesting, Jim. They're not showing the yellow flag at this point, which means there's no oil on the racetrack. This very light smoke, to me, suggests what happened is, instead of blowing the bottom out of the engine, he probably just burned a piston or dropped a valve.
There's the leader, Waltrip, putting another lap between himself and Cale Yarborough, who's still out there plugging away. Now Waltrip seems to be slowing down, Sam. This is sudden and almost imperceptible, but you can see there that David Pearson is flying by him and into the lead. Must be something wrong with Darrell Waltrip's car. He has slowed down on the backstretch and will presumably begin pulling it toward the pits. And you can see the traffic going by him.
Yeah, I think he's coasting here, Jim. I think he's done. I don't think the engine is running as we see that car.
Well, that would make Pearson suddenly the leader in the race. So David Pearson has bided his time and waited back there behind Waltrip after getting in position to race with him. And suddenly now the leaderboard shows Pearson, Neil Bonnet in second place, Benny Parsons in third place, Harry Gant fourth. Waltrip pulls it into the pits.
Wow, what a seesaw of development. I mean, it looked as if Pearson had overcome his disadvantage and was going to take the lead, but Waltrip fought him off, and just when he's establishing his supremacy, bang, something big went wrong.
Does this look reparable, Sam? There's Neil Bonnet pulling into the pits. He's pitting on a green flag also. They did not put the yellow flag out there when Waltrip pulled in. So both Waltrip and Bonnet will be losing a lap, and now that means the race should be between Pearson, Parsons, and Harry Gant,
with an obvious edge to Pearson at this point.
Here's Waltrip's wife, Stevie. She's watching with some concern.
And, you know, Jim, really great self-control. It must be a bitter disappointment. This is the second year in a row she has seen her husband's car wheel back into the garages after leading much of the race.
So Darrell Waltrip is beginning to look a bit snake-bit at Darlington, much like this man, Richard Petty, who has not had great racing luck here. But now he looks physically all right anyway after having been so exhausted earlier. There's Cale Yarborough careening across the track on the front straight and right into the guardrail. And after the long battle following the fire and so much time in the garage, Cale is finally done for. So with just a few laps left, the caution flag is out. They'll bunch up again. We should have a heck of a finish when we come back.
Colt 45, it's a dynamite taste, it's a grin, it's a groove, it's a blast. Colt 45, it's a dynamite taste, it's a win, it's a definite blast. Colt 45 and loaded with dynamite taste. So grab one, down one, get yourself around one. Colt 45, malt liquor, Colt 45, it's a dynamite taste.
This is the Democrat commemorative dollar. It commemorates the 25 years that the Democrats have controlled our Congress and our economy. It commemorates 25 years of reckless spending. Since the Democrats got control of Congress, spending has increased 700%, and taxes have increased 700%. And what is that dollar worth today?
36 cents.
Vote Republican for a change.
Tomorrow on ABC's Sunday Afternoon Baseball, live, Pennant Fever strikes the American League. Billy Martin's Oakland A's take on Earl Weaver's high-flying Orioles. And the Angels are out to spoil the Yankees' hopes for the pennant as the fight in the American East continues. Check local listings for the game in your area. Then, Monday, live, the Dallas Cowboys tackle the Washington Redskins on the hard-hitting opener of ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. The great American tradition is back. Live, Monday on ABC.
You're looking at the setup for a blanket finish to a 500-mile race. When these cars come off of turn number 4 and down the front straight at Darlington, they will get a green flag with 5 laps to go in the Southern 500. So this is a battle for the lead between Benny Parsons in the blue and white car and David Pearson in the red car. Behind them, Dale Earnhardt in car number 2 is in third place. And just behind them, Neil Bonnet is moving into the 4th position. Now, Bonnet is 1 lap back, so he has now separated the 3 leaders from the rest of the field. Pearson, Earnhardt now has moved into 2nd place. Benny Parsons in 3rd. You saw a quick flash of flame under Earnhardt's car, number 2 in 2nd place there, but he is still moving well.
Yeah, these guys are starting to drive on parts of the track they haven't driven on all afternoon, Jim. You got to remember that the form that we've seen, just 4 laps to go at this point, by the way, the form that we saw earlier in the day may not hold now. There goes Earnhardt. He's getting up inside Pearson. Look at that. That's very, very close stuff at this stage.
David Pearson came down in his line a little bit there to shut him off. That's very competitive driving. Here goes Earnhardt again. He's going to try to take David Pearson, and he has got him. Now here comes Pearson back inside. Turn number 4, the most difficult part of the course, and he passes him back. Dynamite racing.
Absolutely masterful by Pearson there, but also by Earnhardt. Notice how softly sprung Earnhardt's car is. It's bottoming here and there around the track. Very tense stuff, and as I say, the previous form of the race is no hint as to what will happen here because these guys have just been in the pits. They've changed the cars 1 whole more time, and the cars are a little different now than they were earlier.
3-car race to the finish. Now 2.5 laps to go as they go down the back straight at 170 miles an hour. Again, Pearson is able to hold off the challenge of Earnhardt inside. So it is still Pearson in 1st place, Earnhardt in 2nd place, Benny Parsons 3rd.
And you know, Jim, the traditional stock car approach of hanging back until the last lap and then slipstreaming by, that just doesn't apply here. The slipstream, the drafting doesn't work. These guys are going for it right now.
Into turn, and now they're on the wall. Pearson is still going. Benny Parsons coming down onto the apron. Earnhardt is slowed down up onto the wall. The yellow flag will come out, but it's a race to the start-finish line from here. Whichever car gets there first will win the race. Pearson is still running in car number 1, but he's slowing down. Forget about Bonnet on the left of the screen. He's a lap behind. The question is whether David Pearson can get there first. Out of the car behind him, Terry Labonte, 44.
Oh, Labonte. I think it was Labonte to you. I can't tell.
Almost impossible to tell. Terry Labonte in car number 44 was the other car on the lead lap as they came down the front straight. The question is whether he got there ahead of David Pearson. The yellow flag was out. The winner is whichever car got to that start-finish line first and got to the yellow flag first. And right now, I think we have to assume it's Terry Labonte.
Yep, this is actually the last lap of the race, and it's being run under the yellow, which means that if Pearson was in fact behind at the line, he cannot come back past and take the lead. This is Labonte's race.
Are they going to give him a checkered flag? Yes, they are. Terry Labonte gets the checkered flag. He has not led at any point during the race. He only led for the last lap under the caution flag after just getting across the start-finish line ahead. Absolutely wild. This young man's only 23 years old. Here's another look at that finish.
Okay, now you can see the little smoke coming out of the back of Pearson's car. That's partly because the whole right side of his car, the side we can't see, has been damaged. The tires are rubbing badly. In fact, his whole toe in and alignment is not correct. That's why Labonte has his extra speed. They're only a few yards short of the finish here, but Labonte is coming right down onto the pit apron to make the pass, and you'll see
the line on your screen. You'll see the line. It's coming up on the left of your screen right here. And there Labonte has gotten past Pearson, and there it is.
Incredible.
Margin of victory, 1 wheel. Sam, I think all 3 leaders went into the wall on turn 1 on the next to the last lap.
You can see the damage there to Pearson's car. Not just cosmetic to the bumper, but it also realigned the front suspension. That's why he was so slow coming toward the line. He couldn't do anything about it.
There, the celebration has begun for Terry Labonte. 23-year-old second-year driver out of Texas has moved to High Point, North Carolina to get into the heart of stock car country. His first Grand National Speedway win ever. And let's have another look at what happened in turn number 1 of the next to last lap.
Well, you know, the funny thing is you got to figure with all 3 leaders just suddenly sliding out into the wall, it makes you wonder if there wasn't oil on the track. Now, I didn't see any. The officials didn't signal any, but all 3 of these guys, top guys, all just slid up into the wall suddenly. Great move by Neil Bonnet there as he squeezes his way through. Really brilliant driving.
He wasn't on the lead lap. Neither was number 15, Bobby Allison. There he is. There's Terry Labonte, number 44, who got through there cleanly and then remarkably had the presence of mind to recognize the need to race Pearson to the flag for the victory.
Here's one more look at it. Now, Jim, it seems to me the possibility is if there was oil, and we have reports from crews in the pits that there was, perhaps the 3 guys who were gunning for the lead were running a higher groove than the next 2 guys behind them and got up into that oil, whereas Bonnet and Allison were just low enough to escape it.
Then still a remarkable piece of driving by Labonte to react quickly, get down low, and come on to win the race. So the Terry Labonte victory celebration has moved into victory lane. Remarkably, he is the youngest man ever to win a NASCAR Grand National Superspeedway race. And there's the man that I think most people here expected to win it going into those last 2 laps. David Pearson, who won the Southern 500 a year ago, the Rebel 500 here this spring, this time came up with the wrong luck in the last 2 laps.
And here he is, Terry Labonte, the youngster from Corpus Christi, Texas, who is really a surprise winner amidst lots of applause. Hey, congratulations, Terry. When did you know you had it won? Let's turn around and get a look at you here.
When I beat Pearson across the line, I thought I had him, but, the crew told me I did, but I wasn't sure.
What happened over there in turn 2 of the last lap?
I don't really know. They got together, and then Pearson was the only one running in front of me. I passed him. I saw his car was messed up, and I just ran as hard as I could, and I got mine right at the start line.
You know what this means, Terry? This win?
No, not really. I don't believe it.
I mean, you're going to be on the Winner's Circle program the rest of this year, all next year, the big money to come and race. I think perhaps it's a turning point in your career. Your financial worries are over. I know it hasn't had a chance to settle in. How will you celebrate tonight?
We're going to celebrate all week.
The official results, again, the surprise winner, Terry Labonte, Pearson second, Harry Gant third, Benny Parsons finished the race for 4th place, and Neil Bonnet 5th. And the NASCAR Grand National point standings at this point in the season show Dale Earnhardt lengthening his lead over Cale Yarborough, Petty 3rd, Parsons 4th, Waltrip 5th. The circuit ends in November in California. Now, once again, a look at what is, in effect, the finish of the race to the yellow flag with 1 lap to go.
You know, Jim, seeing this one last time makes me realize that David Pearson, even though his car was crippled, had he wanted to, he probably could have won this race by forcing Labonte up against the pit wall. But with a great sense of fair play, he pretty much kept it in the middle of the racetrack and let Labonte make his move. Quite a tribute to Pearson, I think.
And it was one of the most exciting NASCAR finishes ever. This is Jim Lampley for Sam Posey and Chris Economaki.